So I added a little bit of weight now on these. Was able to get strong enough, or I felt like I'm strong enough. And anytime you're lifting for hypertrophy, we're always trying under tension as long as you can. So we don't really want to stop and lock anything out. Okay. They're painful. So again, the BFR, really one of the neat things about it is it like makes a lighter weight feel much harder. So you get a workout with a lighter weight. If you're injured, you can still load your muscles without putting stress on the tissue. My heart rate is up higher when I'm working out with BFR versus not. That is a known side effect of blood flow restriction therapy, is that you will have a higher heart rate. They've been experimenting now with cardio, like how it can enhance cardio, being able to do lighter cardio but get greater effects. So it'll be interesting to see where that ends up going. We try to keep our sets within 60 seconds of each other, and which is definitely much shorter than what I'm used to doing. It's definitely a stressor for me. I know this is like a kind of odd way to do a pec deck, but I want to protect my shoulders, so I don't want to do real wide sweepers. I don't normally recommend flies for patients with shoulder pain just because it can be tough. So you'll notice like I cut it off. I don't go all the way back just to protect my own shoulders. So, you know, everyone has their own. I know people will say, oh, you can build much bigger growth if you go real stretched, but you also have an increased risk of injury. So, you know, you have to look and see, like, can I afford to lose a few weeks of training because I got hurt? You know, probably, like, you know, most of us would say no, they don't want to. So, you know, it's a fine line. You always have risk, reward, you know, higher the risk, yeah, the bigger the reward, but also maybe you miss out on training and you don't really want to do that. Everyone has to like gauge that for themselves. I'm trying to make sure that they feel evenly tight. I think I have a tendency to be able to tighten it down harder on the right than the left. So I have to watch that. I almost quit. The camera kept me honest. So one thing, and I attempt not to do it, but it's hard when you're really struggling to keep like head neutral, tongue neutral position. So one thing is kind of interesting is like for bodybuilders, I think like this could be like and maybe it's already being used, I just don't know, I haven't looked into it. But like if you have like asymmetry, like I definitely have asymmetry between my left and right arm. Again, I'm not bodybuilding, but you could utilize this to improve the side that is, you know, to try to get better symmetry. It's a powerful tool, I think. And again, hopefully it works for strength too. We'll see next week for us. I mean, we know in the studies it does, but for me personally, and will it work? We'll see. So, yeah, the reason why I do those ones rather than like a straight lateral raise is because of the way that the shoulder blades line up. They line up like this in an angle. So you want to recreate that position so that you don't pinch your shoulders. So if you notice when you do a lot of shoulder stuff, you get a lot of pinching pain and you do lateral raises, I seriously think about changing it. I will say that this part is not my favorite. This thing, these pinch. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens next week with this strength. We already kind of know that like hypertrophy has occurred, but like will strength occur? Because not having done heavy weights for, you know, it'll be up like a full 8 weeks even into a 9 week. I don't know, it's gonna be hard. Trying to be as good as possible about my rests. I noticed that if I don't pay attention, I'll make my rests way too long. So instead of being, I'm like, oh, it can't be more than 45 seconds, but it's already been like a minute and 15. One more workout in this, like, you know, this training session, and then next week we'll do tests and see where we're at.